fantastic. Do it every time. I love this intro.
You're gonna give me a proper intro and whatnot. I'm just gonna be quiet. Go for it.
Yeah, it's fine. You can do. Oh, hello guys. How's it going? My name is Kieran, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Cunapple Show. And today I am joined with DhagSoul.
How are you doing, my guy? You alright? Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic, man. We've only talked once beforehand, like actual voice-wise.
It was a very interesting experience.
Very interesting. 2 solid sessions of Doki Doki Literature Club.
It was class. It was an experience, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, for those of you who do not know, me and Dhag did a little fucking... We voiced characters in Paul Burke's stream, or Precinct Ranger, as he goes by now. We did like characters for like Doki Doki Literature Club, which was fantastic. That's where me and Dhag bonded like men, like brothers. And now we're here doing a podcast, which was very impromptu, but it's cool.
I mean, it kind of started with me promising a Scottish accent, and then you came in there. You were absolutely silent while I was making a pathetic attempt.
Literally, like, I ended the call, right? And then you were like, I was, what, you currently in Scotland, or you lived in Scotland?
I've been living in Dundee for the past 9 years.
Oh, right, so, you said that. And then, so I sat back silently, and I'm like, all right, and then let's give it a bash. And you put on a Scottish accent, I'm like, all righty then. Okay. That's it. But to be fair, like, Dundee accents aren't Scottish, so, you know.
Dundee is very much of a thing of its own, I feel. Yeah. Whenever I go to another town or another city, everybody's like, oh, right, so you use these words. And I'm like, oh, you guys don't use... Okay, all right.
Yeah, everyone has their sort of own lingo. Like, if you go to Glasgow have their own lingo, like, own way of saying things, own words and shit like that. But, like, see what... Sorry.
Classy,
not a professional podcast, as you might expect. But like, see what I was thinking about there when you said, "Oh yeah, I live in Dundee." Like, there's some words that you said in like a Scottish accent, and then you went back to your like blended accent.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like it's because of those words I am able to sort of twist the tongue because I've heard them so many times. But there are other ones that I've learned in just by talking with people on the internet that I still struggle to kind of twist my tongue. And it's also the case I've not really been hanging with too many Scottish people recently.
Right, yeah. Just come to Glasgow and we can get a wee pint, man.
Are you actually in Glasgow, man?
Yeah. That's where I'm based.
Wait, Glasgow is tidy. I haven't been there in years, though.
Yeah, Glasgow's a good shit, man. I like it. It's home.
Oh, proper. It's a proper nice town. Although I've heard there's some... certain things in Glasgow that are a bit weird.
Like,
I mean,
what?
there are certain locations I've heard that.
If you go to East End,
probably. I'm not sure about which end I'm talking about, but I've heard some horror stories coming out of Glasgow. Yeah, fair enough.
There's well, like, the thing is, like, Glasgow years ago was like, what was it, the murder capital of Europe or something, or it was the knife capital of Europe. Now it's fine. I've walked around Glasgow plenty of times at night by myself. And it's been perfect. And I mean night as in like 3 o'clock in the morning and a Saturday, and it's been fine.
Yeah. No, things have changed quite a bit. It's definitely not that anymore.
As long as you know the lingo with the whole football clubs and shit like that, then you're fine. Just don't intimidate them.
Yeah, see, I'm actually used to the football clubs here in Dundee, and they are absolute sweethearts. They are just so nice. They're going to be sharing a pint on the same table, cussing each other out, and then still having a laugh.
Yeah. Oh, man, and that's different in Glasgow. Way different. Oh, man. But yes, hello everyone. Thank you all for tuning in live. By the way, if you're listening to this on YouTube or potentially SoundCloud, I don't know, I might start up the SoundCloud thing again. This has actually been broadcast live, so if you want to tune in, if you want to listen to this podcast live, go to twitch.tv/Bundicot, and you can listen in live. Maybe one day you'll be on. I don't know. You just need to befriend me, I suppose. But yeah, do you know what, actually, right before the podcast, I'm glad we hit the notes of you being in Scotland, because I wrote down Dhag in Scotland ? Because I was like, I'm not too sure if he's still here. But yeah. But if you haven't... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm definitely still here. I'm leaving at the end of the month.
Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, we have quite a few things listed to talk about. We wanted to talk about the World of Darkness and then Stalker as well, but Dag is very energized with Stalker the now. He was telling me a bunch of history and all that about it before the podcast, and he was getting right into it.
Come on in, Shani, let me tell you a story. I've been hyping. You do not understand. I've been waiting for somebody to properly talk about Stalker for years. Because whenever I mention Stalker to somebody, they're gonna end up the conversation with posting some meme video of YouTube, which is funny. But then I'm like, but you're missing the element. You're missing the essence of what Stalker is.
Yeah.
Where do I begin? I guess. Where would you like me to? Is there anything you'd like me to answer? Because remember you said you had some questions.
Yeah. See, like when I was playing it originally, like I played Shadow Chernobyl? Yeah, I played Shadow Chernobyl for like an hour or two, and for that, it's like I felt like I was just sort of plopped in, and I was like, what's going on here? I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna get a gun, and I was gonna I took a mission from some cunt. I went to a boat, and then like I was with a crew, and then those two crews fought, and then everyone died except for me, and then there was a storm or something, and I was told to go inside. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what's going on, but like, can you tell what's the world like? What is it? Just like Chernobyl, and then is it that or like,
so? They've got a beautiful twist on modern Chernobyl, how it is more, I guess, romantic way with how you see it because of what they used as a source of their imagination. And it starts with a book series released in the 70s called Roadside Picnic. And the general theme of it is that there is this no man's land in a Slavic region. And basically aliens came, had a picnic, left, and their trash for us is valuable. Like, you cannot put value on these goods. There's a thing called the wish granter, for example, that can literally create whatever you want. And they use that and they put it into modern Chernobyl. So they're saying through the initial radiation storm is how, as we see it today. But what happened is with the governments in the game continue doing studies and experiments using all this newfound experience. What are you showing? What is that?
No, I was like when you said, oh yeah, Roadside Picnic, I was like, I'm gonna go into the Kindle store right now. I was like, I just googled it and I was like, yeah, it's on Kindle. It's got audible narration. I might actually get it. It's only a $5.
Man, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's one of the few books in my life that I've checked out and enjoyed.
Been looking for something like that.
There's a film as well that is actually called Stalker.
Oh, is it one of those? Is it one of those little GameFound movies? Is it made by the same cunt that's made like every other game movie around the 2000s era?
No. It was purely an inspiration. Like both the film and the book series was an inspiration for them to twist the modern Chernobyl events and say that at some point the government was involved with experimentation after the nuclear disaster. And that's when you get the second one. And that's when we're introduced to the modern, I guess, version of their Chernobyl, where you have monstrosities and all these artifacts that are deadly and all these sort of things that just make Stalker what it is. Just make it just the most, for me, it's one of the most unique experiences and areas in any other game. No other game has gotten me to actually sit down and just watch things happen, people interact, they're talking, even if they're repeating sometimes, just breathing it in, or
just getting fully immersed.
Exactly, the immersion, especially with the mods that the fan base has made. They made one that connects all three Stalker games into a single one, and it's stunning. There's been times where I've just sat there at night in the middle of the night in the game and just checked out the environment, just listen to the background with no music. Uwe Ball, oh my god, yes, that guy.
Mate, that fucking cunt. He made like a Alone in the Dark movie, which was horrible. Absolutely horrible. It was so bad, wasn't it? Do you know they made a sequel to that movie?
Yes, they made a sequel. He made a sequel on almost all of them. Blood Rain had a sequel. And I've never even bothered to watch that one because I never even liked the game itself. Yeah, but sorry,
But yeah,
you were saying
Stalker. Like, see,
Stalker. Yeah, sorry.
with
Let's not break
Stalker,
apart.
after like the Shadow Chernobyl, like after I played it, I was like, everyone kept telling me that I had to install a bunch of mods to like fully enjoy the experience. Is that what you did? Like, just follow like a mod guide and shit, or?
Yeah. So there's actually basically what happened is before the studio kind of shut down, they released their engine and made it open source. So the fans picked it up and they remade all of the games. That's when you get the basis of a lot of mods called Call of Chernobyl instead of Shadow of Chernobyl, which
Call of
mixes a
Chernobyl.
lot of
Yeah. That was a
but
nice
there's
mod.
been a lot of other ones that have been built on top of that, like Stalker Anomaly, which for me is the best. It's the most thorough experience and the one that I would highly recommend to everybody. Also, because it's all fan made, it's not based on the original game. Like they've completely rewritten everything.
Yeah,
it's
that's
its own separate entity.
Wait, so do you not need to own the original game to play this then? Or?
Actually, I mean, it is a bit of a delicate subject because some people consider it piracy, but yeah, you do not need the original game.
Yeah, because slightly piracy.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's a case that they actually rewrote the entire thing and remade the experience. So there's so few things left from the original. This is more like a love letter.
Right. Okay. Literally just googled it there, and I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, Stalker Anomaly is the best one, and I highly recommend it. And turn off music. You don't want music.
Yeah.
Music is good for setting the environment, but the environment itself is so busy and filled with information just with audio. Just take that all in for the immersion. It's so well worth it.
Mate, there's so many games. Like, see, when you were talking to me about like the artifacts and stuff like that, I was going through my mind that there's so many fucking games that I've played over the years that have actually been inspired by Stalker, and I never realized. Like,
there's been so many that tried to copy it as well and failed miserably.
Yeah. Have you seen the new one, like Chernobylite? It's on Steam.
Which one?
Chernobylite. It's on Steam Early Access.
I don't think I have.
Very much like it's Stalker. Yeah, very much Stalker. You should definitely check it out. Hang on.
See, throw me a link because I'm curious right now. There was one game that the actual developers were trying to make called Survarium, but that completely fell through.
Yeah. Survarium. Yeah.
Yeah, that free to play weird kind of shooting. Yeah, it's.
Wait, when it comes to like free to play early access games, you know they're just.
It's a dodgy.
Yeah.
It's a dodgy area. You need to tread. Now this has my attention, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I like this.
Yeah.
This is.
I made a video on it ages ago, and I really liked the look of it. Apparently the early access was like very unstable. It was like Hunt Showdown, like early days. If you ever played that game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where it's like it was fucking you could not run it. But
it was very, very dodgy to run. It would just no matter the builds of your computer would still suffer.
Have you ever played Hunt Showdown?
Hunt Showdown, I played it during the free weekends.
Oh right, did you enjoy it?
I loved it, and I'm actually even more excited at introducing an exclusive PvE mode because that's the bit that I like. I don't like. I'll be open about this, right? I'm a casual when it comes to FPS. I want to just chill out when I'm playing something and enjoy the environment. Yeah. Instead of having to stress about another player headshotting me.
Yeah. See, like, I get that. Like, I would totally. I didn't know they were adding a PvE mode, so that's pretty cool. I like that, but at the same time, I did really enjoy playing Hunt Showdown because there was that other factor of like you need to be fucking aware and on point like 24/7 and be paranoid as fuck because you never know when a guy's just gonna pop out and get you.
Yeah,
while you're doing all that stuff.
A lot of people enjoy that, but me personally, I'm always like I just want to be able to chill out if I want to chill out. So it's one of those games. Like I definitely want to invest a lot of time in. Yeah. But I hate when there's that one sweaty guy that will show up and you'll be seeing them bouncing about, crouching down, using glitches to get into areas you're not really meant to be. And that just pulls me right out of the immersion. Yeah. That it just turns into any other FPS multiplayer experience, and I'm like, that's not what I want.
Yeah, that fucking brings in a lot of things. Like we were playing Sea of Thieves the other day, and there was a guy that matches that exact fucking description that like took us right out of the experience. Yeah.
despise that. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand the competitive edge on it. People want to be ahead. They're very competitive, so they will try to get every edge.
Yeah.
But I'm glad at least now people are starting to realize that we also got this community of casuals. Yeah, casual.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a filthy casual, but we enjoy what the developer
Filthy
actually
casual.
throws out there and want to explore it. Speaking of which, one interesting little side note. Because of how savage Tarkov is, there's a little community running an emulated version of Tarkov that allows you to enjoy it in a single-player environment with just AI running abundant.
Wait, is that Escape from Tarkov?
Yeah.
Right, what is that game, by the way? Because I've seen it fucking about all the time. I have no idea what it is. I don't get it.
It's the best and worst game at the same time. It is it is a game that is all about really high risk and sometimes high reward.
Sometimes high reward, okay.
Sometimes high reward, but when you get that reward, it's like a drug. You're just straight away addicted. So you scurry right out there like a rat, and you're like on your belly, looting dead corpses and all that kind of stuff, because looting becomes like a pure addiction. Basically, what the case is, there are different maps that you can select to enter.
Okay.
And in the game, there's 3 factions. There's the Scavs, that are basically citizens that after the war went down, they just formed militias and all that kind of stuff, and they're scavenging the environmental resources.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 private military contractors. There's Bear and there's USEC. And whenever you choose to play and enter a map, you choose to either play as a Scav, which is a preset character with randomized equipment, or you play as your PMC character.
Yeah.
Which you go in with your equipment. So if you die as your PMC, you lose whatever gear you brought in.
Okay.
If you die as a Scav, it's a pre-generated, randomly generated character with random equipment, so you don't actually lose anything. There's only benefit for you to come out with that equipment.
Yeah.
To then use it on your PMC sort of deal or sell it.
Okay.
And whenever you choose to get into a map, you have a timer. It can be between 25 minutes to up to an hour or 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, you're going to scour the environment for loot, shoot at other people, survive, and then at some point extract.
Yeah.
And if you survive with broken bones and limping and all that kind of shit, you're going to come out with whatever you took, and you're going to feel very, very rewarded. But that is 1 out of 10 times. The other 9 times, you're going to get sniped, or you're going to get in a firefight, or there's so many easy ways for you to die. It is ridiculous. It's the best FPS game for me at the moment. When it comes to the gunplay, it feels so good.
Yeah.
And when it comes to also like sneaking about, like audio is a very important thing. So you tend to hear your enemy. You don't tend to see them. In most cases, you're going to hear them walking about, and that's how you know they're around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very survivalist, hardcore FPS experience. There's nothing like it. There's definitely no way I can really put it. It's a very savage game. And for me personally, sometimes I struggle to get into it because of how savage it is. Because I want to have a quiet sort of evening and have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Like you go in 3 times with your own equipment that you invested in, and you lose it to a single bullet being a headshot.
Yeah.
There's stuff like that bums you out. But other people are able to get over that. So it depends if it's your like kind of thing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they don't offer trials here. They should.
Yeah. See, it seems like a game that I would try for free, and then I probably wouldn't buy after that. You know, I don't think it's my sort of thing. I don't think.
Yeah, no, your cup of tea. It's a very, very competitive kind of game.
Yeah.
And stress is like, stress is the word in that game. Anxiety is the word. There's nothing like. I was actually wanting to make a video at some point, like talking about the emotions you go through in Tarkov and how sometimes those can actually relate even a smudge to the reality of war. Because you're in this dead quiet environment. You only hear the wind outside.
Yeah.
And you're trying to be dead quiet yourself, and suddenly you hear somebody stepping on glass.
Oh,
shaky hands is like an
I get,
understatement, my guy.
Yeah, I get that because that reminds me of the fucking early days of like PUBG, where there wasn't really too many
Yes.
games like it, and I played like I was afraid to play a solo game because like my anxiety and fear would go through the fucking roof. Because the second you start hearing footsteps and doors closing and shit like that, you're like,
Oh fuck!
it's going down. But but now I'm like fucking Call of Duty it out the window and shit like that, and fucking just doing ridiculous
I got to a
shit.
ridiculous point.
Yeah.
Tarkov is kind of getting like that, but the developers have thankfully limited, so there's a few memes, but it doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah.
But imagine that anxiety multiplied by 3 times, because if you bring in your PMC and you got really good gear, there's always that one guy that will come out with better gear, and there's a bullet with your name on it. Yeah. And a single bullet is all it takes to bring you down and lose 2 million worth of equipment, which is an astronomical amount for equipment to be carrying on you.
Yeah. Every time when it comes to loot-based stuff, I think it's like I get so paranoid. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Especially when there's someone better than me, and I know there's someone better than me, and then it just becomes like a horror movie where they're just stalking me through the halls, and they're so confident. And I'm just
exactly. They actually admitted that the game is quite horror because of how eerie some settings are, and when you're just hearing footsteps and seeing shadows moving about, it's eerie as hell. So what they're announced is that the game itself has a bit of a cult thing going in the background that people are investigating to find information about. So what they announced is that they will add a cultist AI for night maps, so you can actually have people in robes and plague doctor masks and daggers sneaking around to stab you in the back while you're in the dark. So they are actually investing into the horror element of it, which is a bit brilliant, but at the same time worrying, because the game itself is scary enough. It doesn't need any more.
See, I wish I could stream stuff like that, because my PC is really shit. Really shit. I'm trying to build a new one now. All I need is DDR4 RAM. That's all I need before my yeah. And then I can actually finally stream stuff like this. But like, do you stream like Tarkov and shit like that?
I tried to stream it, and I'm not good at the game, so I just died constantly, and I was like, nah, I can do this on my own. I don't need an audience as well to watch me die.
Mate, see, the reason why I brought up that, because we're going to be segueing into your Twitch. Because earlier, I was like, okay, let's see what Dhag streams. Let's fucking see what he does. And I was like, oh, let's go to past streams. You do fucking GTA RP?
Right, so that is a thing I wanted to check out.
That's something, because I did that a wee bit before as well.
It is funny as fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Oh,
there is nothing.
Are you in one of those servers where you need to like apply for it and shit?
No, hell no, man. Come on, that gets a bit too much. If I need to write a bit of a paragraph for somebody to role play as a police officer or something,
I did that, and it's fucking hilarious. I came up with a proper story. By the way, thank you, Tracks, for following, and thank you, Macaroni, for subscribing.
Hey, Mac.
Yeah, Macaroni's in chat. The other person that was doing the Doki Doki Lecture Club thing. What was I going to say? Yeah, so like I applied for one of those servers, right? And the guy was like, oh yeah, have a character description and why you want to join the server. I don't know what I wrote for why I want to join it. But the character description, right, came up with fucking brilliant. A character. A name that I use all the time, and for some reason it was accepted. Nigel Morningwood, of course. Like, the name I use all the time. He is and I put, like, I started getting into it and I wrote it. I was like, oh, fucking hell. So I wrote down he's a Scottish bounty hunter. His dad betrayed him. His whole family died. And then he moved to America to become a taxi driver. it's just like now I'm just a taxi driver. His role playing is that, but he was an ex-bounty hunter from Scotland. And the funny thing is, Scotland does not have anything like that, so it makes no sense.
But nobody knows it. It's fucking brilliant. That's the thing.
Oh man, so funny.
There was actually, when I started scouring around for a server to join, I found one that was. Mate, it's unreal at what level it has gone, right? So there was British servers literally advertising British life, emulated perfectly. And check this out. Not only can you buy property, my guy, are you ready for this?
Okay.
You also get to pay council tax as well.
Actually, is it that fucking immersive? It's like,
they actually had it in capital letters in the title of the server, advertising it openly, right next to like own private property, council tax.
What happens if you just don't pay it? Does it like, automatically happen, or like what?
I guess they get somebody to start putting letters into your property.
What? Can you literally roleplay as a tick man in this fucking game?
I can imagine. If they have council tax, they're gonna need to do something to enforce it. It's just this dumbest thing ever. I was like, people don't pay it in real life. Who the hell says I want to pay council tax in GTA?
Mate,
that's what I'm gonna grind the tax line for.
Yeah, mate. There's a few streamers, right, and their job technically is like, because they do full stream, full-time streaming, right?
Yeah.
Technically, their job is being a police officer, but they're not a police officer. They're paid to roleplay as a police officer in a game, but you're actually being a police officer. That's just fucking. That's so strange, isn't it? It's so strange.
It's like it definitely became big through Twitch because I was watching clips and whatnot. But when it reaches that point, you gotta stop over a moment and be like, mate, stop the clock. Hold on a second.
Mate, it's fucking nuts. Although, like, I would love to try it again. Like, I only played it solo by myself, and I think I got bored because I ran out of money. I forgot about this. Right. So, first time playing it, I went onto the server. I found this random guy getting beaten the fuck out of, and I ran over the guy that was beating him. And I walked up to him like, "Hey man, you alright?" And the guy's like, "Bruh." I was like, "Oh, you doing okay?" He's like, "Bruh." I'm like, "Okay." And he was dressed up like a zombie. He was role playing as a zombie, and I was like, and I said to him, I was like, "Do you want to become my traveling companion and go on adventures?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, I take that as a yes, get in the car. Get in the car. We drive up to a crime scene and stuff like that. And then I was driving past a bank and I was like, right, we need money. Can we try and rob the bank? And I came up with this excellent plan. So like, there's this bank that was right close to this police station, in like downtown Los Santos. And I drove there and I'm like, do you know what I'm gonna do? Or do you know what we're going to do, zombie? We're going to go in there, and because there's like it's like a timer thing on this server, so it's like you rob it, and then you have like 5 minutes until the money comes out.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, but when the second you hit it, the police are alerted.
Yep.
So I was like, do you know what? Let's hit it, go outside, and then lie down in the ground like we're being hostages or something like that. And so we hit the thing, we ran outside, we got down, we were being hostages. I was the main talker when the police came. The police came in like fucking swarms. There was about 7 police vehicles or something like that. They all fucking emerged with shotguns and stuff. And the guy was like, "Sir, what's happening here?" And I'm like, "Mate, fucking mad. 2 cunts came out of the, like one fat cunt, and then there's another guy. They came in, they came out with guns, they told us to get in the ground, they told us to get outside and get in the ground, and then he hit the thing, but the minute they realised that there's a alert that went out, they both ran into that alleyway, and then the police were like, okay, and then so they ran after the fake people, and then I got up, and then we were like, the police was like questioning me and shit, and then there was this taxi driver that like drove by and then stopped, and I was like, oh wait, it's that guy over there. It's the fat bald guy. And then for some reason the taxi driver lost his shit and then just drove off, making him look guilty as fuck. Really guilty as fuck. I didn't end up robbing the bank. We were just being like the Joker at that point and embracing the madness. But it was so funny. But now like a police chase ensued with this random taxi driver that did nothing wrong. But then he was driving off, so you know he did something wrong.
So I had a similar experience, but I wasn't smart enough to make a plan. I just wanted to see exactly what happens. I wanted to see the base mechanics of how this thing works.
Yeah.
So I can then make my plan around the mechanics of the game itself.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let's go do a robbery. What am I gonna rob? I'm gonna rob a convenience store. Run in there, go into the back. There's the safe. Stand in front of it, pull out my gun, and press it.
Yeah.
And robbery is in session. Fair enough. And every other time, people used to rob banks and get away with it, no problem. So I'm like, okay, let's see the response. Oh my god, there was 6 trucks full of guys with shotguns and assault rifles right outside. I was like, I was like, where were you every other time? You absolute bunch of cunts.
It's like some guy getting murdered and then the second a bank gets robbed, that's it. Fucking
exactly. I'm like, pieces of shit. So I'm like, they're starting to shout and roleplay like, have you got hostages? And my dumb ass straight away, yeah, I didn't say yes.
Oh, you did say yes? Oh.
No, I said, oh, no, I don't, it's just me, but if you move, I'll shoot. And they're like, oh, just go inside. So without a second word, they just swarmed inside and started shooting, and they just tased me like 3 times.
I would be like, oh yeah, if you come in here, I'll shoot myself. I am my own hostage. Do not come in.
They're probably going to be like, oh, no, okay, that's easy. We just need to wait for you to come outside and then tase you. Oh, fair enough.
Ah, yes. Of course.
It would have been, alright, this is the easy one.
Mate, we should definitely fucking do that. We should do, like, GTA.
We need to. I need to put it back up and get it running.
Yeah, I need to re-download GTA 5 now. Jesus.
But see, it doesn't end there. That was just the beginning of the event, me getting arrested.
Yeah.
So they grabbed me, they pulled me outside, and outside there is this guy that is just walking about and hanging about with the police, but they're all sick and tired of him. Because he's trying to give them advice on how to do their job. Some role-play lawyer kind of deal. And as they're putting me in the Jeep, in the SUV, he's jumping in on the next side and they start driving off. And they're literally giving me life advice through roleplay. I was like, look, man, I know that you just came from abroad straight away. I was like, fucking bastard. Fucking racist cunt. I know you just came from abroad, but look, man, you don't need to be doing robberies. There's a better life for you out there if you just work hard for yourself. Yeah. And this guy right next to me is like, look, I'll give you 10 grand so you don't rob another store, okay? So you can start your life. And the driver is like, what? 10 grand? I can give him 100 grand right now, brother. So him and the police officer are having this argument going back and forth about who has more like cash and more property and stuff.
Yeah.
And as we're driving towards the bank, the guy takes a turn. We stop at the police station, and his co-driver jumps out, yanks the other guy out of the out of the seat next to me, and starts reading his Miranda rights, being completely utterly sick and tired of this kid telling him how to do their job, and he just takes him in and goes for an arrest. And I'm just sitting there like, am I still gonna get 100 grand? Just checking. And he's like, yeah, absolutely, man. Let's just go to the bank. The guy took me to the bank, undone my handcuffs, put me in, sent me 100 grand. And I like a gentleman, I went out on myself. It's like, I'm ready for the handcuffs. And on you go. And took me to the station.
Yeah.
And as I'm there in the station, they got this guy in a separate cell and they just tase him non-stop so they can disable his voice chat because they're waiting for an admin to come and ban him or something.
What?
And they're just all playing this sort of entire beating the shit out of this guy situation while I'm sitting there. And I have this guy with a phone in his hands. He's like, okay, so your first name and your second name, while in the background is like, just hearing all of that shit going down. I was like, what the fuck?
What? That's fucking
is
nuts.
This? What is this? I was like, there's a guy being murdered right next to you, by the way. You sure you still want? Yeah, that's fine. They're dealing with him. Don't worry. Those noises, he's just overreacting, and you still hear the fucking taser going off. You're like, what?
What?
You sure?
Yeah.
Apparently that's illegal. Are you sure? It's bizarre. GTA role playing is its own thing. Its own bizarre world, man. And I love it because you just see people turning into fucking memes. Yeah,
mate. It's fucking like. See, the thing is, I think with like when GTA 5 like RP spawned, everyone wanted like their own RP game thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of those? Kind of it.
I caught some moments and I could not.
Mate.
Okay,
Honors
so
them or scams.
there was this situation, right? On the same server I was playing, so after all this stuff happened, I was just off stream chilling out before I went to my bed. I was checking out somebody's stream because apparently the biggest RP in the game was going down. Like the police was not available because they were doing this big thing. And I'm tuning into this gal's roleplay just to check out what's going on. And she's a doctor. And she's in Sandy Shores, and there's this big gang war going down. There's like people died, people have to re-roll things and characters and shit. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And this gal is role-playing saving people and doing all the emotes and whatnot.
Yeah.
At that point, somebody holds in another lady and lays her on the bed and fucks off. And she's like, dun dun dun, that's my sister. In that bed. So that's her sister, unconscious in the hospital bed, bleeding to death. And she's rushing in to fucking save her. Okay? Now, I don't know, they must have had something set up from the background because her sister could not talk. When you're conscious, I don't think you can actually talk. And she wasn't making a fucking noise anyway. So, she's laying in the bed, and this gal that's doing the Twitch stream, she's role-playing, fixing her. He's like, we gotta need blood, we gotta need, oh, plus, and all that kind of shit. And she's running about doing the entire thing. And she may need a transfusion. She's gonna need maybe like a new stomach or some shit. I don't know. And at some point she stops and like, hold on a second. There's another pulse. She's pregnant.
Mate, I was literally... You should have seen my facial expression there because I was like so in tune with what you were saying. I was like, but what happened? Whose pulse is it? Fucking what?
Yeah, so apparently her sister that is involved with the mafia that was involved with this gang war without telling her anything.
Yeah. She
got it in the shooting and she got like hurt and now they find out that she's pregnant.
What?
But wait,
there's still more.
There's still more.
What? Mate, should I have popcorn or something? I feel like I should
put a bit of whiskey, my guys. It's gonna be a long, rough night, eh? There's still more. So she finally wakes up after half an hour of role playing, and she's just watching everybody else. Oh my god, I cannot believe this. She wakes up and she's got amnesia.
Wait.
So let's get the summary down, right? So your sister, first of all, was involved with the mafia. She got in a shootout. She got injured, deadly, like a proper bad. And you find out that she's in bed with the mafia boss. She's pregnant
with the mafia boss.
And now she also got amnesia.
So she doesn't remember that she was in the mafia and that she's pregnant with.
Nope. Nothing.
Well, that's so. Okay.
Because the most beautiful bit after that is she's role playing, showing her amnesia sister photographs out of her wallet. She must have found a fucking photo album in her ass. Honestly, seriously, that was way too many photos she was describing. And she's like, oh, do you remember that time we were at the beach with that boyfriend that cheated on you? And she's like, oh, yeah, there he calls. And I'm sitting there in stream, and I'm like, what is going on? I have so many questions. Like,
that chat must have been fucking wild that night, man. That would be like...
That was some roleplay, bro.
Yeah.
What is going down?
Was that all improvised or something? Did they have that planned? Was that like... That sounded so planned.
That sounded planned.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, is that sort of role-play planning, which is a story that's developing kind of deal, which is... I'm sorry, I cannot help it. It's a little bit cringy. Like, you're telling me your character is fucking pregnant.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, did you even role-play the entire scene? I want to know. I need to get some details and investigate this shit.
How's she going
to have a child?
Yeah, how's she going to have the child? Like, how does that work?
Exactly what I was going to say. Exactly what I was wondering is like, so hold on a second. So you're going to tell me, let's say you actually have a child, right?
Just a full-grown man just comes out.
First of all, you got to have a full-grown bald cunt just show up and here's your child. And you're throwing them into buildings and then pulling them back out because that's school or that's the hospital or some shit. And Like, so then what do you do? Do you recruit a player to play as your son? What do you do? How does that work? Like, is there a period where you role play as having a fantastical son? So you're walking about and there's something in the air, an imaginary friend. Like,
Yeah.
how does that shit go down?
Do you know what I'm guessing? Like, it feels like it probably it might be a direction they might go in where it's like she's in labor, and then she dies at childbirth, and her kid also dies. Oh wait, no. No. She dies, but then she turns into the kid, and that's how she continues on.
Fuck, I never thought about that one. I was still stuck on I was still stuck on the details of how the fuck do you raise that child? Like that thing is meant to go through like infant to what? How do you do that bit? But fair enough, that makes a bit of sense. And
maybe they do like maybe the hospital's like experimenting, and they inject the child with genes, and they do a Bioshock. They do a Bioshock, whereas like the main protagonist is like 5 years old, but he's like the appearance and mindset of like a 20-year-old.
Mate,
mate. Nah, I'm getting into this, to be honest. I like this.
Here's another thing, right? So there's obviously two gangs that are fighting over one another. Say one of them is going to suddenly boost the years by 20 years, and everybody's 20 years older, so we can add this child now being an adult and being able to get involved with gang warfare. How do you actually relate that over to the other gang? So, guys, we're just going to need to roleplay a 20-year-long stalemate war, so our gal over here can go into adulthood and start shooting at you guys, you guys can shoot at her. Like, how does that affect the community in the server, then?
Yeah.
Like, that's such a weird... my brain just fucking BSOD, man. I cannot compute that shit.
What streamer is this? Who are they called?
I don't want to say the name.
Oh, you can tell me afterwards. Then you can tell me afterwards.
I'll see if I can send you.
Yeah.
If she kept the VOD.
Mate, I would totally watch that VOD, just in the background. Because I used to watch them. I used to watch a lot of like Arma 2 RP things. Because there was one YouTuber that fucking did episodes back to back, and every episode had something pure weird and interesting and weird story develop in the background. And I'm just like, I was so engaged. It was my EastEnders, to be honest with you. EastEnders for a wee bit.
See, it's mad, and I fucking respect that. Hold on, I'm actually trying to find the video as well. She's actually busy as a Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, she's actually quite busy. Hold on. Is this the one? I think this is the one. I'm not sure at which point it is, but I'll drop it on Discord. I'm sorry, you were saying again? What was that?
I don't know what was I saying? I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm the worst person to be here with.
Oh, right, I was talking about the whole YouTube thing where it's like I used to watch Arma 2 RP
Arma
videos.
2, yes.
Yeah.
But I feel that's quite different itself.
Yeah. It's similar, but I think it's like you could do... I think there's more freedom in Arma 2 because they've been around longer, and there's like... You're not really tied down to like Los Santos and you're role playing in like sandy shores or whatever, you know.
True,
it's like they can make Roman Islands and stuff.
But at the end, what I've seen whenever it comes to Arma 2 or Arma 3 role plays in that case, Altus Life.
Oh yeah.
Is that in the end, the entire server is going to be split into two factions. Everybody that's with the police and armed by the police, and everybody that's armed by the gangs and with the gangs.
Yeah.
And then at some point, just turns into the civil war.
Yeah.
Well, new Bambi players are coming in and trying to do just regular jobs, and they're being recruited to fucking militias.
Mate,
it just
I like that
again
shit.
Turns to warfare.
Yeah, I think that shit's so funny. I think that shit's so cool. Oh man,
I tried to get into it, but I couldn't, man.
Yeah,
I could. Well, first of all, Arma 3 is notorious for unstable frames per second.
Oh yeah.
And second of all, I couldn't really find a community that was a good giggle. They were all of them so goddamn strict, man.
Yeah, see, that's one of the bad things about RP, where it's like there's you need to find that one where it's like, yeah, they take it serious enough, but they don't like live by a code, and they're like pure like, what are you saying, man? Why you know, they're dead money and strict and shit.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
don't actually live the
yeah,
goddamn thing.
yeah. It's like you have to remember that this is all a game. If you all just have fun and respect the rules, then that's cool. But like at the end of the day, we're all doing this to have a laugh, essentially, aren't we?
Yeah, like there's only
Yeah.
so far you can go when it comes to taking seriously your position as a medic or police force or something. Like, come on, it's
Yeah.
still a game.
Exactly. Exactly. So we can.
Now,
What was that?
I was actually going to ask. I'm curious because with your Vampire the Masquerade deal.
I was just about to segue into that. Then,
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah,
So,
that was good shit.
great minds think alike, man.
Yes, I
Because
know, right?
like, go for
Jesus.
it, go for it. So,
And I was going to
you're the
segue into it
host.
because, like, we were talking about the other day, like, the two things we wanted to talk about were World of Darkness stuff and Stalker. We talked about Stalker a good length. We talked about GTA RP for a good length, but we haven't talked about World of Darkness shit. But you don't play like the Vampire the Masquerade stuff, do you?
So, Vampire the Masquerade, the game itself, Bloodlines, I've not played, but I've seen a lot
You
of
should
things
really
about
play.
it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've missed the chance where a game gets that outdated that it feels sluggish and annoying.
No, not really. Like, see the thing, when I played
Really?
it, I downloaded the unofficial patch,
Mhm.
which fixed a lot of issues on it. But like, it plays. Like, have you played the older Elder Scrolls games and stuff?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Morrowind.
yeah, it plays like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it plays like Oblivion. It plays like Fallout 3 and shit. You know,
I mean,
controls are very similar. And the
I
feel of it
can,
is very similar.
I can definitely do it at some point.
Yeah,
When
mate,
I
you
guess
should
I
really
have
get into
the patience for it. Just
Yeah.
for the characters. Oh my god, the
Yeah.
characters. The characters, just the Chinese lads
Mm.
that are around the place. The guy from the Chinese herbital medical forces something.
Yeah.
You're like, you sure about that?
Yeah.
And I just changes the background and suddenly guns is like, oh,
Yeah.
those forces. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Mate, I fucking loved the game. Like, it took me so long to finish it. It's only like a 30-hour game or something like that. But like, it took me so long to actually finish it. But I had such a good time playing it. I thought it was so good. Have you seen any of the new Bloodlines? Bloodlines 2? That's coming out.
I have not checked out anything about Bloodlines 2.
You should
to
look
be
at you
honest.
should look up the gameplay for it because it looks really fucking sick.
I don't want to because I've done that with a few games in the past and it sort of spoiled the game for me because I went in and I was like, oh, I already know about this because that was shown on that gameplay video or that thing or that thing.
Right, okay, yeah.
So, for example, with Modern Warfare, I've actually done the same thing. I've not playing the remake of Modern Warfare because when I want to enjoy it myself when I managed to pick it up.
Yeah. Modern Warfare, man, that's such a good game. Gonna play that after we're done with the podcast. Actually, I finished the download. I was like, yeah, fucking.
Damn it, I wanted, man. I wanted.
Yeah.
So my background with World of Darkness is that it's something that my brother used to play. He was the game master. He was running the sessions, and he was always doing a mix of vampire. Well, it was the World of Darkness, the base, but then he used vampire, werewolf, the Forsaken, and Mage the Awakened. For his story, so it was never purely vampire. I always remember, I think it's either oh, come on, I was checking the names there. The Ventru?
Yeah, the Ventru. Yeah,
the Ventru. Are they the ones that are really rich and like the...
Yeah, they're up their own arse. Yeah, they're like the leader figure, yeah.
So when he made the story, he basically made it that it's them at the top and all the other vampires are sort of working with them. There's no issues between the vampires themselves, but there's this war underground between the werewolves because they've been split into factions, the Forsaken and the Pure.
Okay.
The Pure are physically more powerful. They got better choice and they're way more organized because they have the resources from the vampires.
Yeah.
But the Forsaken are the ones that renounce that, and they are a little bit weaker. Their structure is more like a gang than an actual faction, like a bit of a clan. And the mages were their own entity, kind of stepping into the story here and there whenever.
Yeah.
But that's how I kind of got into it. It was just my brother's beautiful storytelling that got me into that. And a bit of my own playthrough of World of Darkness and whatnot, but it was not as rich as what he made it.
Yeah.
It was... there's nothing greater in a tabletop game than seeing actual fear in the player himself.
Yeah.
About his character and his reactions being very like spoken in a very shaky sort of voice because they're like, shit, I've been 5 sessions into this and I'm emotionally tied with my character. Or it's just a beautiful thing, man. It's just I love it. That's for me. I actually hold that above Dungeons and Dragons personally.
Yeah. See, like I've always wanted to play World of Darkness. I wanted to play the Call of Cthulhu one, like tabletop one. For ages now. But the only experience I've had with that is D&D. I've had like I've had one session of D&D, and that was like last October. We've been meaning to get back to it, but we've all been so fucking busy. But
that's always what's happening. Yep.
Yeah, but I fucking got so into it, with the decision making and the character and role playing as a character and all that. I thought it was so much fun. But I would love to do it in like the World of Darkness stuff as well. Like, see when you were explaining the story there, I would love to be a part of that. That'd be so intricate. It'd be so good.
I was constantly bugging my brother actually to get me into the story, but I was a little fucking kid. I wasn't really mature enough for it, and I would have ruined the experience. Fair enough. But there was this moment. It was like 2:00 at night, and I'm sitting in my brother's room, and his mates are there, and we're just chilling out. He's reaching a point in his story that is very, very critical because they're starting to investigate background stuff. So, to give a bit of context, all the events that my brother created took place in the modern city of Raymond.
Yeah.
Which is in the middle of this forested area. And around there, you can imagine sort of like a very Alaskan or sort of Canadian landscape. So very forested, very bright, but there is word in archives that there was an old Raymond somewhere in the forest that got destroyed in a big fire.
Yeah.
But there's never a lot of information about like if they explored it, a lot of photos and all that kind of stuff. And through the story, the characters started finding a lot of connections that the town may not actually be all that abandoned.
Yeah.
So, literally like a bad joke, a werewolf, a cop, and a reporter decide to go into a forest. And as they go there, they're under the some trippy experience that was created by a mage there, because as they're walking towards the path that they know leads to Old Raymond, from what they found with all the old archives, the sun starts vanishing. It's no longer there. The trees start getting a lot more dense, and before you know it, it's dark, and it's a very eerie atmosphere. It's very cold. It's very lonely. Like you're the only people there. And as they're walking through, they actually find these rail tracks. And they're like, hold on, rail tracks? No, the only rail tracks are passing from the other side of New Raymond. What are these? And they're actually start to follow them because they're thinking, okay, this could actually legitimately be the path that we need to follow to lead us to Old Raymond. And as they start to walk ahead, they notice that there is like something in the middle of the rail tracks, and they discover an abandoned wreck. They're like, hold on a second, like in a modern society, how can this be?
Yeah.
And when they're investigating that, the reporter is starting to take photographs of everything because they actually start finding bodies, decomposed bodies that were just left there. It's like, what the hell? And then they find out why it was never recovered. First of all, the vampires are influencing the town, so whatever created that, did not want it found.
Yeah.
And whoever else went nearby never really left because there's a werewolf guarding the place.
Right.
So as they go inside the abandoned wagons to investigate, the werewolf in the group is sensing that there's somebody outside watching them. And when he loses his shit and he shifts and the other werewolf appears, the other werewolf is like twice the size, and they have this mad encounter where they barely manage to get out because the other werewolf let them.
Yeah.
Because the werewolf was just there to just guard the place. But as they're getting out, the photographer reveals all the film and starts actually seeing spirits and ghosts in the photographs, and that takes a big sanity check. Oh, if that hurt. After seeing a werewolf, suddenly you're seeing ghosts. His character was fucked. The other ones are finding out that there is another werewolf that was lost out there, lost to madness because of what he found in Old Raymond. And coincidentally, that werewolf is also a character that was lost in another campaign my brother made. So there's just like beautiful stories like that from World of Darkness that make it so rich for me. It's incredible, man. What was it? There was also a case where the police officer's partner, the lady, he thought she was cheating on him, but he later down the line finds out that she's a ghoul. Sort of owns. And because he's so desperate to save her, he falls down the same trap and he turns into a ghoul himself, sort of being a feeding vessel for them. And the werewolf himself is starting to lose his shit too.
Yeah.
And it all like sort of devolves. You have these characters that are like starting out a bit great. Not everything is great, but slowly and steadily, like you just slowly just destroy them. And you just watch them get down to the dirt. And there's nothing left. It's all these like very dramatic stories too. Sorry, man. I know I'm branching all over the place.
I was just sitting there like getting into it, to be honest with you.
Really? Oh, sorry.
I was just
man.
like, oh, it's pretty sick.
I'm sorry, man. No, my brother. I was telling my brother like he should actually make a book and publish that because that could definitely be a campaign for it.
Yeah. Mate, that sounded fucking sick. Like, honestly, like I'm not lying around there. I'm like that was genuinely The
one good thing that my brother does is he's great with roleplay. He can actually act very well himself. So if he wants to get you into a character, he will at first make you feel a bit uncomfortable because only this person is acting in front of you. But very quickly you get into it as well. So very quickly you have people that will scream out their reaction. But even though it's their actual real reaction, it's also the character's reaction.
Yeah.
In a beautiful way. That's something I've never managed to do myself, to get somebody so into it that it's almost as if the imaginary character is now real. It's right there in front of you. They're making a decision as if they're physically in their shoes, sort of deal. What other stories? I just trying to think of ones that I can complete that are not just completely like a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
There was another case. So the previous campaign that my brother. Hey, doggo! Check that out.
If you're wondering why I'm quiet, it's because my dog keeps like scratching my leg because he's one foot on my desk.
Oh, that's alright, man. That's fair. So in the previous campaign where there was so that werewolf that went crazy, his name was Mickey, and before he went crazy, he was the genuine nicest guy and weakest werewolf in the town. He just like managed to grab his character and just completely warp him.
Yeah.
Just mess him up totally. So in the previous campaign, there's this mage that's literally by accident discovered his powers. And the mages are finding him and trying to guide him, and he slowly finds that there's this a bit of a mage war happening in the background. Not a very big one, a bit of a cold one.
Yeah.
And they're obviously trying to recruit him. They're trying to pull him into his side. And what happens is that he still tries to remain independent. So after he fell in love with his women, one of the mage factions snatches her. Because at that point he was involved in something big. I'm not sure, but there were... Look at the dog. They desperate eyes. Like, come on, bro.
It's now my dog's show.
Dog is like, come on, bro. Is he actually... I like those growls, like, proper, like, come on, guy. What have you named the pupper,
living.
actually?
What was that?
What have you named the pupper?
Finn.
Finn.
Yeah, his name's Finn.
He's a lad. He's alright.
He was just scratching my leg, and like I knew like the people that were watching, they were probably like, "What the fuck is he doing?" No, it's my dog. It's just like attacking my leg because he wants my fucking vegan remains of my vegan sausage there just on my desk. I can't.
Mate, I gotta throw a shout out to some vegan. I'm not a vegan myself. I still enjoy steak and whatnot, but some of the vegan stuff out there.
Oh, mate, some vegan shit is Linda McCartney stuff.
Oh, mate, nice. their sausages, nice. Like, mate, I mean, if you ignore the way they look raw, nice. It is a proper, like, smoky, delicious flavor, proper Gucci, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to wrap up the podcast very soon. So we usually I usually do it, but sometimes we don't. There's a Q&A a little bit towards the end, so if anyone is in the chat now who wants a question asked, then ask away. But I do have a few questions over on the Discord for you and myself, Dag. So, how are you with Resident Evil?
I mean, I'm not the same. Well, are you talking about the sort of D20 campaign I done, or are you talking about the games in general?
Like the games in general.
Oh, the games. I'm very well. I know them very well. I mean, I kind of grew up on them from not a very young age, but I guess 13 was when I finished my first one.
A lot of the questions are about Resident Evil, like every fucking one of them. Jesus Christ. So
go for it.
So I'll pick up the important ones. So what are your thoughts on Resident Evil 3 Remake, and what do you expect in regards to new gameplay, enemies, weapons, plot, characters, and fighting Nemesis?
So, a bit skeptical, because even though Resident Evil 2 Remake was great, it was very short.
Yeah.
And it was an 8 out of 10. It wasn't that 10 out of 10 that we're hoping for. So
I think it's like I think people hold these games to a very insanely high regard, where they're expecting 10 out of 10s. These games, in my opinion, they've always been like 8 7s. 9, like there's like a few 9s. Like the classics are 9s, but they've never been 10 out of 10s. Like Resident Evil 2 Remake have been like a good old 8, I would say, as well. But
for me, with 2 as well, I felt that they had so many missed opportunities. You could have modernly developed the story and actually build the characters and add more to the background and make them a bit more interesting, instead of like they were still rushing them through the story, and the majority of the gameplay itself they had also spoiled through gameplay videos, which was horrible. But what I'm hoping with 3 is that they will not do the same thing. Like, they have such a beautiful canvas to build suspense and story on. Like, Nemesis himself as an entity, we only know his background because there were Chinese manga called manhua that released the story and a bit of background. While the game itself does nothing for Nemesis. Nemesis is just this big body. And from what I've seen so far, it's going in a great way, that it will actually be able to restore that anxiety you felt as a player whenever Nemesis is in the room or in the area. I'm excited about that, but I'm definitely hoping they will not waste their resources when it comes to the story. They need to make story good. They need to put in the work, because we've reached a point where storyline is very, very important for engagement. So if something feels off in the story, the player will lose immersion. Personally, I felt that so many times Resident Evil 2, like when they were at the gate, after you enter the police station, that gate.
That bit was like, there's so many questions, like, what are you doing?
They're like, oh, so how are you doing? All right, how are you doing? Bitch, what are you fucking on about? There's zombies outside the gates right behind you. Bolt, run, skedaddle, skedoodle, like, get done. No, there's stuff like that felt silly to me, but from what I've seen so far, it looks like they've definitely gone heavy on the serious, sort of realistic tone, and I respect that, and I hope they do that and it comes out proper.
See,
sorry to close that.
I've been asked so many times. I think every stream I'm always asked about what my thoughts are on Resident Evil 3 Remake. So I'll just say it quickly here, because I think I feel like I'm repeating myself so much. I'm not really bothered about 3 Remake, because like, what do I expect from it? I expect basically Resident Evil 2 remake, but expanded upon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
mechanics are refined, and the story's a wee bit better. But, like, I'm not expecting a pure drastic change. Like, I've played the original Resident Evil 3, didn't really like it so much. I wasn't really too into it. But that's why I'm not really excited for this one, because I'm just like, And also the fact that I'm not really into the idea of just, like, consistently making remakes.
Yeah,
I'm not really into
that
that.
should
Yeah.
not be a trend. That should not
Yeah,
become a
like,
trend.
because every time, like, even when Remake 2 came out, people were like, Remake 3. And then when Remake 3 got announced, people were like, Remake Code Veronica, Remake 4. And I'm like,
What?
Why?
No,
Why are people
no,
wanting so many,
no.
like, make something new? And that's why I'm more interested, like, the thing, I would be way more interested in Resident Evil 8 than Remake 3, to be honest with you. Like, that's just me, but...
themselves, it's because marketing has been leading gaming for so long, and it's finally the developers kind of returned to the fan base. Like, okay, we've started talking with the fan base. We know what they want. They don't want the running and gunning of Resident Evil 6 or 5.
Yeah.
And they're not really all that much into the Western horror of 7.
I love 7.
So I love 7
I love
as well.
7. The poster
7
on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
7 for me was a 10 out of 10. Although, again, there I saw a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
That's something I was actually thinking at the beginning.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my god, it's gonna be amazing. But no, it wasn't. It was.
Yeah.
It was like one thing I love to do in games is I love to check the environment.
Yeah.
And I remember I had found this document that actually had names, and some of them were crossed off, some were diseased, and that kind of stuff. So I was like, holy shit, what if the enemy we encounter, we actually start finding out something about the people themselves? So even though you're shooting at this monster, you still feel a bit of sympathy.
Yeah.
There's a bit of, like, empathy for what happened.
Like, each molded is like an actual person, you know their names and stuff like that.
Exactly. But no, they completely ruined that. You don't know which molded is what, and they're just completely wasted.
Yeah.
I feel that's one big thing that people don't do. They could have done that with Resident Evil 2 as well. They've done that in very few moments in the Resident Evil series, and it worked brilliantly, and I'm wondering why they don't do it more often.
Yeah.
Build your enemies. Your enemies need to have a backstory too. You can make an interesting opponent.
That question was from Lakota Warrior, and then the next question, we got a ton, but I'm gonna pick like a few from them. So the next one from Nem has about 5 different questions here, but I'm gonna choose about 2. So one of them is, which I find quite interesting actually, ideas for game designers. What would you expect a certain genre room to look like? That's what he put. I don't know what he means by certain genre room. Or does he... Yeah. Like, what does he... I think it means, like, what do you expect from a certain genre? But I don't know. That's sort of just a personality and individual thing, isn't it?
Kind. I mean, yeah, it falls down to what the individual thinks is the perfect kind of game and what genre it falls into.
Yeah.
For me, the perfect kind of game was always, well, I'm hoping if I can turns out to be the perfect game, because I've been waiting for it since 2014. Can you guess which one it is?
Is it Cyberpunk?
No. What thing was meant to be released in 2014, the 2015, the 2016, and then they stopped releasing release dates? The big fiasco.
I think that was Star Citizen for that as well. I'm not too sure. What is that?
No, it's Star Citizen.
Oh no, that game's not coming out, mate. That game is not coming out at all.
That's the thing. Like, they advertise the perfect, they advertise the perfect sci-fi game, and I'm like, that's for me the thing I want.
Yeah,
somewhere where I can live my Firefly dreams.
Oh, mate, I watched the show Firefly recently. Fucking loved it. So good.
Is it not perfect? The way they mix Western and sci-fi, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just irritating when you watch it nowadays, and you're like, there's only one season. In a movie.
Yep, 8 episodes in a movie.
Yeah, but it's like the ending of the season 1. It's just like, it's just one of those.
We're wrapping up for season 2. We're getting ready. No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Watched it for the first time. Yeah, I did. It was something I've been meaning to watch for a long time, and I finally got down to watch, and I was like, fucking start to finish, loved it. Binged it in like 2 days or something. It was good shit. Really good shit. Next question: things you want in RE8. So Resident Evil 8. What do you want in that, Dag?
Maintain first person. Horror in first
Yes.
person is a completely different thing.
Yeah. See, fucking.
And
Oh man, I'm so glad you are saying this stuff right now because I'm so sick of speaking to people that like cross their eyes and scream "re" the second you mention fucking first person in a Resident Evil game. Like, I really enjoyed it in 7. I thought it really worked in 7.
7 was fantastic, but
Yeah.
it's again like all Resident Evil games. I feel that they'd never they sort of lay foundations for ideas, but then cut them off. Like,
Yeah.
you feel the foundations are there, but it's just not fulfilled. There's nothing there to fill that gap.
Yeah.
7 was full of that. It was just
Yeah.
beautiful. But yeah, first person is the way to go with horror. It needs to be.
I think like what I want from RE, right, is that I want it to sort of maintain the same sort of atmosphere as 7, where it's like, oh yeah, it's just someone that doesn't really know what's happening. Like, he plays someone that doesn't really know what's happening in the situation, not playing as like someone that's been experienced in it before.
Yeah.
You throw him in a situation like a derelict place or something like that. Like, I don't really want another RE game that's set in a city and you're playing as like an agent or something. Like, I don't really want that for at least a while anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
So
I would like that.
Basically,
more. Sorry.
I'm so sorry. Finish what you were saying. I keep interrupting you.
Oh no, I was just going to say, yeah. Basically, I want a more expanded upon 7. That's essentially. But what were you going to say?
Yeah, the thing I was going to add to that is that they need to return to zombies. Like, fair enough, story-wise, you need to have that virus that keeps getting worse and worse, so the characters need to keep on going to tackle it. But they missed what made the original game terrifying, and it was that 5-second cutscene when you encounter your first zombie.
And he turns his head, yeah.
Period, that's it. Zombie. You were built on zombies.
Yeah.
Give us zombies, because zombies are that horrible thing that we're watching happen to an animal, but we cannot imagine happen to ourselves, being ripped apart while you're alive, watching that happen to your loved ones.
Yeah.
When I was making a roleplay D20, I was generally focusing on the very dramatic side of what that would be like. Of the dehumanization of everything in this, like, society is gone.
Yeah.
And the reality of it, and that was what I was focusing on. I wish they would actually go onto it, and this is the brutal reality of what would probably happen in a zombie scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of making it more fancy and more Hollywood, like, give me a proper gritty story where at the end I'm not left with a happy cutscene. At the end I'm left crying. Leave me emotionally impacted. Right,
there's one more question from Lakota again. So there's, oh my god, what are you saying, dog? Don't shout at me. Don't shout at me. Don't be cheeky. Right. So, one last question. I know there was a ton of questions that were put in the chat, but we only have time for one more, and that is the since we're on the Resident Evil fucking roll, may as well finish off with a Resident Evil question. Thoughts on the Resident Evil Netflix series? A lot of my chat love Resident Evil, by the way.
I have not checked a lot on that because I don't want to get my hopes up.
It's happening. I can tell you that.
See, that's the thing. If they do a CGI one, they're going to try to do it flashy. They started good with Degeneration, but I'm generally worried. Like, it's Capcom. Capcom tends to be the kind of company that will shoot their own IPs in the foot.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it comes out this dark and gritty story of what, like, more about the survivors of some other STARS members or somebody else from another special unit instead of like the STARS member and them being insane heroes again pulling off stunts. I'm hoping it's a gritty story. I'm hoping it shows the other sides of what we've seen.
Yeah. That's exactly what I want as well.
Okay. In the way that I'm thinking it, the way I want it is the same way that kind of Star Wars Rogue One showed the groundwork that was happening in the background. Like, when a fight is going down, you have the lightsabers in that little room up there, but everywhere here, this is what's going down. Like the second half of the film. So that's what I would want to see. I want to see what's going down in the background. Every little detail that made Raccoon City happen.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I've like before what was it, a year ago, I planned out my own Resident Evil show just to see what the concept of it would be like. And like I realized that like a TV show in Resident Evil would work insanely well, like insanely well.
Oh,
With, like
yeah,
8
absolutely.
episodes, and the thing is, like I think I'm more hopeful for this than like a movie, is because Netflix, when it comes to like video game adaptations, Castlevania, the show on that, fantastic, great
Yes.
show. The Witcher, even though it's not based on the game, but it's based on the books, still great show.
10 out of 10. I love
Witcher.
that.
I love The
Hell
Witcher, yeah.
yes.
Never played the game. Well, no, I did. I started playing The Witcher 3 properly after I
Like
finished the show.
everybody, yep.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
everybody.
But I couldn't get into the game. It was
That's
too.
fair,
It was
my
too
guy,
massive. Too massive.
That's
But,
fair, my guy. It
yeah.
is a game that requires a month-long dedication.
Yeah, that's what I'm hopeful for. Like, I'm not like pure pessimistic about it or anything like that. But yeah, I'm hopeful. But I need to wrap up this podcast because my dog is losing his fucking mind, as you can hear.
Yeah, my
so
guy.
yeah, guys.
I'll let you go.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having me.
yeah. No, yeah. Thank you for coming on. This has been great. Great conversation.
Cheers, my guy.
Great
It
conversation.
was amazing.
Yeah. So thank you all for listening to this episode of the Mighty Cunapple Show. If you want to listen to more, then go on to youtube.com/Bundicot. You can go on Twitch as well and watch these episodes live. And yeah, that's about that. I may have a SoundCloud up soon. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, but I'll come back to you on that one. But yeah, thank you all for watching the show. Thank you, Dhag, for coming on. And I shall be seeing you all next time. See you all later.